Hey, it's Rich again. One of the areas that I'm really upset with is the press, how liberal it is, and how they lie to the people. Most of you that continue to follow me are, I think, feel the same way. The biggest lie in the last couple of years is them refusing to report on Biden's cognizant disabilities. They would not report on it. Jake Tapper, if you remember, I did an episode a couple of episodes ago where he argued with Laura Trump. I tried to call her out for trying to say there was a problem with Biden's cognizant abilities. And he called her out with his nose up in the air. You know nothing about this. You're not a medical person. Well, everybody could see what's with Biden. Remember this? Yeah, I mean, who falls upstairs? Then this happens so many times. Trump trying to get off the stage. He doesn't know how to do it. Watch.
A video of Joe Biden is being widely shared online. In the video, he appeared to get lost after his address while leaving the stage at an event. After his speech, as he turned to leave the podium, he stood still, seemingly confused and completely lost. All this while there was a thunderous applause after his speech.
Mr. President.
He was also seen muttering some words.
Then one of the really embarrassing moments was when he was, I forget what state he was at, but this congresswoman had passed away a couple months ago, and it was her district, and that's where they were. Biden's up on the stage, and he's thanking various people for being there, and then he says, "Jackie, are you there? Are you there?" Yeah, that's Jackie. She's the one that passed away.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
Biden was referring to Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, who died in a car accident 2 months ago. Everyone makes mistakes, but some say this was a pretty big mistake to make.
So to top everything off, there's this White House Correspondents' Dinner, which goes on for years. I think it started with Calvin Coolidge, and he attends it. But all those correspondents who cover the White House belong to this association. This is a big deal in Washington, this annual dinner. The first president to refuse to go was Donald Trump, because all they did was say terrible things about him. They had comedians up on the stage, just really ripping Trump apart. It wasn't funny. It was just nasty stuff. So he thought, why did she bother going to that? The president doesn't show up, but took a lot of joy out of that dinner, which I was glad. It's all these correspondents, all these press people that don't tell the truth. They're all liberal. They say everything their way. They say they don't, but they do. So at this dinner, they give an award to a guy named Alex Thompson. Alex Thompson is a reporter for Axios. He got an award for his excellence in covering Biden's lack of cognizant abilities. This is really a big joke. Back in 2022, a reporter named James Rosen gave this report. This was on Megyn Kelly's podcast. Listen to this.
Here's James Rosen. I misspoke earlier when I said 18 months. It was 8 months. He was blackballed at the White House. And this is how James put it in his own words. When I asked the POTUS, President of the United States, on January 19th, 2022, about this issue, it was considered rude, and I was blackballed in briefings for 8 months. Here was that question, January 19, 2022.
I'd like to raise a delicate subject, but with utmost respect for your life accomplishments and the high office you hold. A poll released this morning by Politico Morning Consult found 49% of registered voters disagreeing with the statement, Joe Biden is mentally fit. Wow. Not even a majority of Democrats who responded strongly affirmed that statement.
Well, I'll let you all make the judgment whether they're correct.
Well, so the question I have for you, sir, if you'd let me finish, is why do you suppose such large segments of the American electorate have come to harbor such profound concerns about your cognitive fitness? Thank you.
I have no idea.
It was asked directly, unsparingly, but politely. There was nothing rude about it. He got Where is James Rosen's award?
If anyone deserved an award for covering or even questioning Biden's cognizance, it was James Rosen. What happened to him? He didn't get an award. He was barred from attending the White House anymore. He couldn't be in the White House Correspondents Association. How dare him ask such a question of the President of the United States? That's how they treated it. They think the American people couldn't see what was happening with Biden because they told us nothing about it. But I saw it. You saw it. We saw those things I showed earlier. We all knew it. The conservatives would talk about it. We all knew it. What's wrong with this guy? We made fun of him. He couldn't get off the stage. He'd fall all the time. We all saw it. Republicans, conservatives knew what was going on. Fox News, they have to give them credit. They questioned it all the time. Newsmax did, but that doesn't matter what those two networks do. They're not really accepted as real news organizations. I don't know if you remember when when Obama was president, he tried to just keep them out of the White House Correspondents Association, saying they're not a real news organization because they reported too much negative stuff on Obama. That's how they treated Fox News. Eventually, you have to give the other networks credit. They stood up and said it's unfair to kick Fox News out. So they were allowed back in. They now have a front seat in the press room. Fox is recognized as one of the top press organizations out there. So I think what happened with the Democrats, they could see what was wrong with Biden, but they wouldn't accept what they were seeing. They accepted what the press was saying or not saying. So I hope that the press learned a lesson. I mean, it's the president of the United States. With his inability to get off a stage, how could he handle a decision on nuclear weapons? People are questioning Pete Hegseth, where he's the right guy to pick for the Defense Department. 10 million people in the Defense Department. But what about Biden, president? His abilities to run the presidency. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's all for now. See you next time.